Beer-ish.
Right.
BERR-ISH. Of the first...
I'm not sure that's how you spell beer, but I'm going with it. I hope that's how Russ spells it on the actual site.
What did I say?
BERR.
Oh. I knew there were two letters that repeat it. We've done a lot of these today. Coming to you more alive than dead from the Beer to Whiskey Studios high atop Barley's Tap Room on Washington Street in glorious downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps and welcome to this episode of Big John and Five. And I've got the namesake of this sitting right next to me, John Richards, and what I do is have him pick a beer from one of Barley's 72 taps or 50, 60 cans and bottles. We sniff them, we sip them, we get bits about them. John tells us a little bit about the brewery, and sometimes he fills in some gaps in with brewing history. And through all that, we drink a little beer. He looks shocked by that, but But he's not really shocked because we've been doing this for about 5 years. So, John, what do we have?
We have a brewery from a newly expanding brewery out of Sandy Springs, Georgia, called Pontoon, and the beer is called Fluffy Otter, and it is they call it an oatmeal cream stout, whatever that means, but it's got oatmeal, lactose, and marshmallows listed as ingredients.
Lactose is where the cream would come from.
Well, and
I would
lactose
think, without having tasted it. That's what I
right. We throw marshmallows in there, and I don't know. Is an oatmeal cream pie like a Little Debbie? Is that made with marshmallows in the middle? Is that?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good Southern thing, but I don't know if that's.
Anyway, I found that reference doing my homework here, which was it was just a little weird for me to find. But
John sometimes is not familiar with the brewery or the beer that we're drinking.
Well, so Pontoon's only been in South Carolina for like a month.
Oh, really?
As of this filming, it's brand new in the market, and they're a fairly new brewery, although they've been brewing beer since I think 2014. But they were contract brewing for the first couple of years of their life. It didn't open their official Sandy Springs taproom until 2018, and then of course the whole world stopped for 3 years.
Right.
And now we're here in 2023, and it feels like we were just there in 2019 a minute ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have Pontoon now in South Carolina, which is kind of fun, and they've done some fun beers. They do a bunch of different styles. They do a handful of core beers, but even those are not styles that you would normally, like they don't have their core lineup isn't the same as a traditional, like what most people might consider a core lineup. But then they come out with these things like this marshmallow stout and throw, a bunch of sours out in the market of different flavors and kind of origins and some fun experimental and different beers that have been quite good. So I'm more excited than I thought I was going to be to try this one. And of course this is up Russ's alley. Us doing anything dark is gonna make that happen. This
it makes me smile.
And this is a big 9%er with lactose as an unfermentable in there too, so it's gonna have that big texture, the big silky mouthfeel, all of the sweetness associated with that, and that hopefully a little of the marshmallow fluff, kind of toasted marshmallow fluff combination of flavors that happens in a lot of these beers.
I would give John some crap about picking a 9% beer at this stage of our day, because now we're about 7 or 8 episodes into this, except I suggested it to him. So I'm, normally I try not to take the blame, but this is my fault. And I get it.
That's right. It's going to get us where we're going, just the same as the next one will.
And we still,
And the last one did.
yes, and the last one did. And we still have a couple of,
We still got miles to go before
yeah,
we
we
sleep.
still have a couple of rides to do at some point.
Two more Uber
Am I supposed to
rides.
do that?
I don't know.
Yep. Text Miss Lily.
I just didn't get the beer off the bottom of my glass. Russ was giving me grief about that earlier too. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to talking about the beer here in a second.
I really like this. I don't know that I could drink more than a glass of this because it's so sweet and cloying.
Yeah.
But it is delicious.
The nose is, I haven't even tasted it yet. The nose is real quiet to me for some reason. I get it, I can tell I'm smelling a stout, but it's quiet.
It won't be when you sip it.
Nope. Wow. Well, that's fun.
It is fun.
It starts, so I pick up some of the fermentation fruit, the dates and raisins thing right up front, real quick again. And then it just gets real sweet. Like you said, there's that big, rich milk stout sweetness in the middle. It's creamy, like heavy cream in the middle. But as it sits with me longer and longer, more of the toast. And it's not really even a roast. It doesn't get into like coffee.
No, it is like toast. It's like toasted bread.
It's just, yeah. And it's just it's a real light toast. I can taste that toasted marshmallow
On the back
on the back and playing around the edges still. And there's just a little bit of like dark chocolate bitterness that's operating in the center for me. Travels a long way.
There's a lot of stuff going on in that.
That's a fun beer.
Yeah, it is. I don't know that I'd want to drink more than one. It's a little sweet.
And again, any responsible drinker is going to sit down and have one of these, and then switch to something lighter, because you start dropping too many 9%ers on your night, you're going to miss the last train out of Brussels.
Spoken as someone who knows.
Spoken as someone who knows.
You go into a city that you don't know, where you don't speak the language, and you go into a bar.
You don't have a car.
Yeah, and
You're an hour from your house.
and you go and you get blammed up, and you come out, and you're like, "Where's the train?"
Yeah,
it's like,
the
"Oh, they
train-
stopped running an hour and a half ago."
Right.
You stupid.
What are you, a foreigner?
Yeah, what are you, an American? So, yeah. So
Yep.
he speaks from experience.
Yeah. You start with a 9% beer and end with a $90 cab ride. That's how that works.
That's one expensive beer.
Ain't that the truth? But lesson learned.
Exactly.
Lesson learned.
Call Uber.
Call Uber before you leave, or before you're supposed to leave. So yeah, this is quite fun, and I would definitely sit down and drink one of these in a bar.
Oh, I would too.
And but then I would want to switch to something else.
Yep.
And that happens a lot. Happens a lot with Belgian beers for me. They tend to be very rich. This is rich. Sours are the same way. I can sit down and I can have one, and I love it and I enjoy it.
I feel like this is about 2,200 calories. Sipping this, I may be, but that's the way it tastes.
You may be overestimating a little, but
That's the way
not
it
a
tastes.
lot.
That's the way it tastes to me.
Yeah, this is. I will guarantee you, if you put this in this is a 10 ouncer. 12 ounce is the official designation of how they measure calories in beer. That's probably a 330 or a 350 calorie 12 ounce beer. There's something going on there.
It's big.
Right. Well, you can judge some of that just by the ABV. There's one of the reasons, say, Mick Ultra, for instance, has so few calories, is it has so few alcohols.
And so little taste.
And so little taste. There's nothing there for you.
I don't want to put too fine a point
Right.
on it, but it's like razor thin taste.
Yeah. And then we just found out from experience.
We did.
For real?
We did. You got to look it up.
You have to. Well,
It's on the playlist under Beer-ish.
right.
BERR-ISH. Of the first.
I'm not sure that's how you spell beer, but I'm going with it. I hope that's how Russ spells it on the actual site.
What did I say?
BERR.
Oh, I knew there were 2 letters that repeat it. We've done a lot of these today. BEER.
This is how you miss your train.
-ish. I can see how it could happen. That's Beer-ish.
Beer-ish.
That's the playlist.
Right.
And we'll add some other things occasionally to that. But this Mick Ultra was the first in the Beer-ish playlist. Anything else?
I'm speechless. I'm done.
I am
I'm
too.
worn out.
I am too. If I have to sit upright much longer,
Yeah.
it's gonna be serious. My friend,
Cheers.
fun. So damn lucky. See you next time.